Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have before me two Glocks. Both are 40 caliber. This gun is a Generation 3 Glock 22, and this gun is a Generation 4 Glock 22. Question of the day is whether a Generation 3 slide will work on a Generation 4 frame. Let's test this out. So both guns, before I started this video, they were cleared, made sure I had an empty chamber, and actually one of them, it was a great idea that I actually checked for a loaded chamber because a round came out. Okay, so we're empty here, unloaded chamber, nothing in the magazine well. And then here, empty, physically inspect. Nothing in the magazine well. All right, so now we're clear. Now let's switch frames. Let's see if it'll work. Okay, so this is a Generation 3. And this is Generation 4 frame. Let's see if the frame will mate here. Okay, cycle. It feels like it would cycle great. Okay, you see this? Now, the common complaint that I see on blogs is that there's a gap right here, and this gap can be covered with a plug. And I'll show you that in a minute here. To me, it's not really much of an issue, maybe a little bit cosmetic, but it's not too bad. Let's now see if the Generation 4 slide will mate with the Generation 3 frame. You see that? It will not. Okay, let's try this again. So this is the farthest I will go. You see that? Now I'm thinking maybe because of the oversized or double recoil spring on the Gen 4, that's probably why it will not connect onto the slide. But this is the farthest you're going to go. See that? So there you have it. The Generation 3 slide will fit on a Gen 4 frame, but the Gen 4 slide will not mate onto the Gen 3 frame. I'm not too sure how a Generation 5 would work in this mix that I have here. Now, some of the common questions might be, well, does the gun actually function? And it does. As soon as I show you a functionality test, I'm going to post in the link in the description box, and you'll see that video. Just give me a couple of weeks or a couple of months so I can do that. But the gun cycles properly, and it's dead accurate on. From 25 yards, I was able to hit into the, I think it's the A zone, right in that square box without an issue with the RMR over here. But I have no issues at all. Now, in the beginning, when I made it the Gen 3 slide to the Gen 4 frame, I actually did have an issue. And the issue was that the slide would not go into battery. And it basically wouldn't fall forward from here. So what I did was I constantly manipulated the slide, okay, back and forth until I was able to get it into battery. And I fired the weapon without any issues. So far I have about 60 rounds, obviously need more. I will be attending a 1,000 round course sometime this year. And once I do so, I'll post a link in the description box to show you how it went. Again, give me a couple of weeks or even some months until I post that video. But that was the only issue. Now, mind you, that this slide is milled. This is called the COVID cut. And I'll post a video on how, or my thoughts on the COVID cut and whether or not you can use this as a duty or service pistol. with even the cuts on here. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I did get the slide milled for the arm. I got armor cut here, and it mates perfectly with the frame. Sits a little bit lower, but it's perfect. And then I have the slide cuts here, and this came from Jaeger Works. So this was a Generation 3 slide that I sent off to Jaeger Works. It did take 8 weeks plus an additional 2-3 weeks because I had additional coating on the slide, because otherwise the slide would come. I think it would be in some parts will be stainless steel, other parts will be some of the brushed out black, but it had to be repainted. And I got a nitrite black. And because I did that, it added 2 to 3 weeks of the 8-week turnaround period. And after that period, I got it. And I would wait. I think it's highly recommend that you wait that long to get your pistol slide back if you're going to get it milled. And I did think it was reasonable because I have no issues. This is a perfectly cut and milled gun. So it's very possible that there was a piece of the slide that kept catching onto the frame, maybe the rails. I'm not sure exactly why the gun did not go into battery and it remained like this as soon as I made it the slide to the frame. It's also maybe because the Gen 3 slide wasn't made for a Gen 4 frame, and maybe there was just a piece of plastic or just something that prevented it from happening, from connecting and going to battery. But that issue has been resolved by a couple of slide manipulations, and then I oiled up the frame, and there's no problem at all, guys. So a Gen 3 slide will work on a Gen 4 frame. Stand by for more videos. As soon as I create more videos that involve this weapon system, I will put a link to those videos in the description box. If you guys have any requests for any future videos, please like, subscribe, and share. You guys all take care and be safe.